Hello guys and girls and welcome back. It's Big John here. The at's at the bottom of the screen if you like to listen to my music. So is all the relevant information regarding Pip Hunter and how to gain access to Pip Hunter. So what I'm going to be doing today is I'm going to be teaching you how to safely trade with the trend when it comes to Pip Hunter on a 15-minute chart using the wave strategy. I hope that you guys and girls like this one. The reason why I've done it is because you can use only 3 indicators, so you can get Pip Hunter on the free TradingView account and then you'll just have to pay for Pip Hunter, because I'm only going to use 3 indicators. So let's head over to the charts and get into it. So as you can see right now, I'm on GBP JPY on a 15-minute chart. And what I'm doing here is I've got my Asian range indicator on, which shows this, this, and this. So it shows me Asian session gray, London session blue, New York session will be yellow. I've got my Pip Hunter baseline overlay, which has got an alligator that's on same as symbol, which is the 15-minute chart. And I've got a Teamer line that's with my baseline overlay. It's part of the indicator. It's showing me a 4-hour trend on a 15-minute chart. So I've got multi-time frame analysis, and I've also got my TDI. So that's only 3 indicators which you'll be able to use in a free TradingView. So what my confluences are is I'm just waiting for price for a sell. I want to make sure the Teamer line is red from about Asian session. So it's showing me that 4-hour trend is in the market, which I don't trade Asian session. So it's telling me it's been in there for pretty much most of Asian. Then as it comes into London session, price has to be near the top of the Fibonacci at 78.6 or 61.8, or at the very top. It needs to be pretty much near the top, looking for a sell to go down. And what I'm looking for is I'm looking for my trade inside the London box, which is this blue one here. So all I would do is wait for the TDI to cross bearish here. I would have got in on about this candle. I'd have given myself a 20 pip stop loss, which would have been about here. And then I would have just patiently waited for the trade to play out. If I held the trade down to here in 2.5 hours, I made 22 pips. Did push back against me because this was NFP. So a lot of trades are going to have big candles that pushed against. But this shows you how good it is and how it works even with NFP. So if you avoid fundamentals, then this can work even better in your favor. And you can see if I held my trade, it came all the way down here in New York session for 50 pips. USD CAD. So what I have here is in reverse, is a buy. So what I've got is I'm looking for my Teamer to be green before Asian session or within Asian session starting around here, which it was. It's a nice clean uptrend, as we can see, so a bullish trend. And then when it gets into London session, notice how price was near the bottom of the Fibonacci. So it's around the bottom here. This is where price was. So it's coming up. And notice when it was coming into London session, price was near enough, the 50%. So it was pretty much at the last point of where you'd be looking to take a safe enough buy. Price rejected off the 50% on the Fibonacci, which is here in between these two, 50%. And then what happened is the TDI crossed here in London session for a bullish move. And you would have been able to get this buy here. And you would have caught all these pips here. So you'd have caught about another 25 pips going up. And then you could have waited, and then in New York session you had another TDI crossover around here, and this time you would have caught about 60 pips going up. So this shows you how this works for you and how you'll be able to clearly see what trends you're trading with and have a better chance of having a successful trade. USD JPY, same thing. Notice how the line was here, it was green. Price was at the bottom of the fib. This is a better example of a bullish trend. Price was right near the bottom. London session came in, you had a crossover here, so you didn't have to get in this one, you could have waited. You could have got in this crossover here within the box, and then if you got in here, you would have made at least 11 pips going up. Not the best in the world, still about 10, but you would have been able to get at least 10 pips with this trade. And then even if you held it, remember your stop loss is going to be 20 pips this way. So if you came in on this candle right here, let's just make this correct, and your stop loss was 20 pips down here, see what I'm saying? Even though NFP tried to strike you, which to be fair, NFP did take you all the way up here, but even though it did try and strike you out and bring you down, you still would have been able to make all these pips going up here if you held it, and then you would have got 40 pips there. Even if you didn't decide to trade here, or you got out after 10 pips, you had a re-entry right here, as you can see, and you would have been able to catch this trade going up. This trade I actually gave to my group, and they all managed to catch 20 pips off of this. I called it out because I saw exactly what I'm telling you now. And I told them, and we all caught about 20 to 30 pips off of this trade, as you can see. Euro JPY, the same thing, as you can notice. Price was around about the 50% range when it came down. So you would have been able to get in here where the TDI crossed over. 20 pip stop loss, you're far away from price, and then you would have been able to catch at least 20 pips going down. And then if you did hold it, even though NFP tried to push against you, Remember, you got a 20 pip stop, so you still would have been safe here when it tried to push against you here. You would have caught all these pips going down here. You could have caught 50 to 60 pips going down. Swiss franc, Japanese yen, as you can see, same thing here. Price was around the 50%. Teamer line is red. What you're going to do here, London session, TDI crossover. You wait for the TDI to turn red. So here it was green. When it turns red, you're getting in about here. So it's turned red. That's your entry candle. You even had a pip hunter star for a short signal, which was great. Up here, 20 pip stop loss here. And then you would have got in your trade just around about here, and you would have made at least 25 pips going down. Australian USD, same thing happens here. Price is near the top of the Fibonacci, just around about here. What happens? London session, TDI bearish cross to go down, 20 pip stop loss, far out of price, even though it tries to spike you. And then if you held it, you would have got 55 pips going down. Euro USD, same thing here. Notice how it's red. Price is around about the 61.8 region on the Fibonacci, TDI cross in the London box. Once again, these will have borders around them. It's just because the market's starting a new day while I'm doing this video, but it will have a border around it, a blue border. And then you would have been able to just catch this trade here if you got in here. So you would have caught 30 pips. And then if you re-entered in New York around here, you would have got in on this candle, and you would have made another 50 pips pretty much going down here. GBP USD, same thing. As you can see here, you had a TDI cross in the London box here. You would have got in on this candle. You would have held 20 pip stop loss, would have been here, and you would have been able to make at least 26 pips. And then if you started again in the New York session, you would have been able to make about 50 pips. So all in, you could have made about 70 pips that day. Gold, even with gold, it did the same thing, as you can see. You had it here, you're near the top of the Fibonacci. This is a crazy trade. I called this out. That's why this arrow was here. I actually called this trade out. So anyway, now you would have been able to catch the crossover here. Put your stop loss about, this is about 30 pips. Gold, I'd say you need a bit of a bigger stop loss because it's a bit crazy. So let's say you put about 40 pip stop loss or 50 pip, you know. Don't over leverage, but you would have been able to catch all of this going down here. And you could have continued to catch. So it was about 400 pips you'd have been able to catch here, which is crazy. Australian Japanese yen, the same thing. London box, TDI cross here. 20 pip stop loss. See, even though it tried to fake you out, you got 20 pip stop loss, so you're good. Your stop loss is all the way up here, and you could have held this trade down here and all the way down here if you was patient with it and was monitoring the trade. If you did get out here because of NFP and you thought, okay, NFP's happening, you had another crossover just here, you could have got back in here and still held your trade all the way down for about 30 pips. I know people are going to make money after this strategy. Holler at your boy. If you want to get mentorship from me, let me know in the group. The information for the Discord group is all below, so let me know. And holler at your boy. Come on, I'm giving you sauce here. Sauce, man. So yeah, once again here, look at this. You've got the Teamer line red, top of the Fibonacci. TDI crosses bearish in this London box. You would have been able to have your position here. You would have had about 20 pips far away from entry. And you would have patiently been able to wait, and you could have made 40 pips. You could have made even more pips. You could have ended up making 51 pips. USD Swiss franc. This is why USD Swiss franc was buying as well. Look here, London session comes in, kicks in, TDI crosses over, as you can see here. And then you would have been able to catch this trade going up here for about 38 pips. If you caught it again in New York session, right here, you would have been able to at least catch about 15 pips up here. But you're already near a high, so it's understandable why you would probably have left that trade. But this one down here, you're more closer to the low. Look, 61 down here. You would have caught this trade. And to even show you it works with oil as well, you can see here, London session forms with oil. What would you have done here? TDI crosses bearish. Could have got in here. Could have got this down here. Could have got out of this trade. You could have got another one right here. Got in here. And you still could have got some more pips down here, and if you held it, you could have got pips all the way down to here. So yeah, that about sums it up. If there's any questions or anything you'd like to know, once again, if you want a part 2, please put it in the comments below. Hit your boy up. I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Also, all the information for Pip Hunter and the video, the settings for all this video, I'm going to do a separate video, which is for the paid members of Pip Hunter. They're going to have access to be able to get the settings for the video. And yeah, join the gold group, it's in there. Join the Pip Hunter group, and let's get these pips. The market's starting now, so it's Asian session. I don't really trade now. I'll just watch where the market goes to. Let's get these pips. Let's get these pips. Peace.